There goes our vehicle. And the trip begins. Oh! Oh! Just kidding. So here we are at the trailhead, and this is where we're going to begin our backpacking trek on the International Appalachian Trail. A beautiful drive here. We drove here from Percé this morning. Gorgeous views of Percé Rock. Gorgeous ocean vistas the whole way. Very mountainous setting. Absolutely amazing drive. We explored some of the town of Percé, climbed up a hill, got great view of Percé Rock, great views out to the ocean, and this gorgeous maritime architecture. Very, very cool. Just quintessential Quebec maritime environment here. Very unique and just incredibly beautiful. And we are about to begin our hike. We have 24 kilometers on the last day. Today we're gonna have to do over 10, and in the middle we have a bit of a shorter day. But it's not an easy hike, but it's not overall extremely strenuous. There are mountains. We're gonna get ocean vistas. We might see whales, we might see black bear, there's moose in there. But the beginning of the trip's gonna start in the bush, and then we're gonna be on this kind of open mountain ridges where we're gonna see incredible ocean vistas. Big thanks to the International Appalachian Trail Association, because they are the ones that are doing a shuttle for us. We met them here, and they're gonna drive our vehicle to where we are gonna end this backpacking trek. I got these new trekking poles. These are MSR Ascent carbon fiber trekking poles. New, super stoked to use them. The older ones I had just kind of eventually broke, and every time I put weight on them, they kind of sunk down. So these have a different locking system and are gonna be much better. And I like to hike with poles because it really takes some of the pressure off your joints, off your knees and hips, going uphill, going over logs, over top of streams and stuff like that. It's kind of like you got four-wheel drive. So yeah, locked in, ready to give her. Woo! So pretty much as we were about to take the first steps of our trip, we realized that we forgot the stove. We were trying to switch everything over from one trip to another. We were running late. Our shuttle drivers, we left waiting for a long time. And so I was basically chatting them up, distracting them, getting to stop thinking how we're wasting their entire day while Tori was loading the stuff. And one of the things on our gear list was this jet boil, but we have the extra big isobutane can. So when you use the extra big isobutane can on a jet boil, there's no room for the stove top to fit inside the jet boil pot, which this is. And so we didn't put it in here, and it was loose in our food barrel. And as we were rummaging through it and packed everything from our canoe trip to our backpacking trip, we realized that we'd forgot the stove top in you know, the last moments before we started walking away. So yeah, that's pretty enraging. I just want to kick something. Son of a bitch! So mad. But anyways, it just means that we're gonna have to light a fire in the morning, and to boil water we only have another tiny little pot. So I'm gonna stash this jet boil in this tag alder, and hopefully we can come back and get it on our way home. Might be a little out of the way, so if anybody is hiking in Forillion National Park on the Appalachian Trail, check at the trailhead, because there might be a jet boil pot, some gas, and a little pot supporter. Feel free to keep it, because we're just gonna leave it here. So we're caching it instead of throwing it in the garbage. So we're caching that. No big deal. Packs are lighter. Son of a bitch! I hate forgetting stuff. All right, here we go. Next to the wind.
I can't keep my water bottle here. This is ridiculous.
There's the beginning of the trail. Looks pretty easy.
was that?
False Summit. The trail just goes up and up and up and up and up and up and up.
Oh yeah. Up and up and up.
Sweating yet?
So,
Me too. Whew!
there.
That was exhausting.
Yes, it was.
Looks like it flattens out a bit now though, eh?
Looks like, yeah.
Thank God. Goes down. Wow, this is beautiful fall weather, eh?
Perfect.
Yeah. We got some moose sign here in the tree. So that's in the winter. Moose will eat the inner bark and they'll peel the outer bark and peel off the inner bark and eat it. There's an older one there. For whatever reason they like this tree. Yeah, you can actually see the teeth marks there.
Oh, that's
It's interesting to see the bark there, the Appalachia, or I think as they pronounce it in the States, Appalachia. I think we use the French pronunciation here in Canada. But these are the Appalachian Mountains. This is the Appalachian Trail. And Appalachia is actually a Mohawk Iroquois word for porcupine. But the reason the mountains are named that is because the Mohawk called the Algonquian tribes that lived in the Appalachians porcupines. So they called them Appalachians because they would eat bark, inner tree bark, in times of famine, just like a porcupine. So it was like a derogatory term to call them porcupines. In a way, it was calling them bad farmers because the Iroquois had perfected growing legumes and corn, but the Algonquin in the mountains were still hunter-gatherers and would have to go through periods of famine that the Iroquois didn't deal with. So they called them porcupines because when they were starving, they'd eat the inner bark from trees. Inner bark from trees has been used all over the world. The Sami people use it as food, but it's so high in fiber, which of course makes you poo, but if you have too much fiber, it does the opposite and makes you constipated. We are approaching a lookout. Cool. All that uphill is worth it. Whoa. Wow. Imagine this with all the fall colors. Oh my God, look at how high we walked up, Tori. Huh? Holy crap, there's town.
Whoa! We were on that road.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
No wonder I'm exhausted.
At another little rest point here. We've managed to climb up even higher since the last one. And it's funny, like the towns, they're all just kind of along the highway. And this one almost follows a valley. So it'll probably be our last view of any development. But it's a pretty cool view.
Sign here says stay away from cliff edges. I don't know why I'm walking right. Ah! Just kidding. There's Tori safely behind the border.
Safety first.
We're going down. That means we're gonna have to go back up, Tori says.
My knees are already hurting.
I think that makes sense. Just use it like you're poling.
I am. Downhill really hurts my knees.
Yeah, it does.
It's jarring. I'm trying to step like, you know, with intention here.
It just slides your top body forward on your meniscus, right?
I don't want to like, you know, jar it too much, but.
Yeah. What
Yeah, there's a lake coming up. Hey?
What's wrong with this mountain runoff stream? It's okay, isn't it?
Well, there's a whole lake, is what I'm saying.
Well, we can just tab this, no?
Yeah, sure, if you want to, but I'll...
Well, you can see here that we're not the only ones that stop at this little stream to get a drink. These are all moose prints coming through here. Some more moose sign. And I found a little bit of wild mint. Again, grows in these kind of swampy areas. So it looks like there. I always smell it before I see it. So tasty.
Snappy too?
Looks like we spooked the moose. We didn't hear it run, but it probably heard us talking or caught wind of us when we were out of earshot from it running. But maybe we'll bump into it. But there's a lot of moose sign around here, so seems like there's a moose that just hangs out on this trail a lot.
Crazy.
I just heard it. Did you hear that?
No.
I just heard it. No. Yeah, so it looks like there's a moose that hangs out on this trail. Me and Tori spooked it, and I think I just heard it in the bush over here. So we are just booting along here. First whole stretch of the trail is in the forest. We're gonna
hopefully, I think, get into some more open country. But yeah, we don't know exactly what to expect. We gotta make it 11K today. So we're probably gonna be rolling in there right before dark because we didn't start quite as early as we thought. And again, one thing we didn't really plan for is how much earlier it gets dark here than back home, because it's just that much further north, and because we're into the fall, the days start getting shorter and shorter as opposed to the spring when they get longer and longer. So it's like pitch black by 7:30. When me and Tori were in the Rockies and we walked from Jasper to Grand Cache, we were doing 20K a day, but it wasn't getting dark till like 10:30, and it was light super early, so we never even had to use headlamps or anything. So that's really gonna narrow the window that we have. So we're hoping that if we leave at like the absolute crack of dawn on our last day, that we can bang off that really, really long day and get to Cap Gaspé, the tip of the Gaspé Peninsula and the end of the Appalachian Trail before dark. But we're gonna be hard pressed. I'm looking forward to getting it done, and I'm looking forward to the journey, but I'm not really looking forward to getting up before first light and just going all out exhausted all day. So some more moose sign here. At first glance I thought it was a fir, but this is actually the velvet that attaches to a moose's antler. When the moose antler grows, it originally has this nice fine velvet on it, and eventually that just comes off and it leaves their antlers that nice, you know, bony texture that you see after they're fully grown. Wow. Yeah, and it's just like a leather. Actually, apparently this stuff here is really high in protein. You can eat it, and some of like the Evenki and the northern reindeer herders will boil this and eat it because it's really healthy.
We might need to keep that. We might not have enough food on our...
Yeah. Isn't that cool though? Feel it.
It's so cool.
Have you ever felt antler velvet before?
I don't know
fresh
if I
off
have.
the moose?
Wowzers. That's so... Yeah.
So do you want to touch this side? It's not even slimy or anything.
It's cold.
Yeah.
It feels a little slimy.
Yeah, it feels really cool and warm. So yeah, you can see the shape here of the antler. This is like one side that kind of came off.
That's real cool. Really, really cool.
Antler would be kind of like that, I guess.
I've just never, ever seen that.
These are the tines.
Yeah.
That tine up there.
Wow.
Maybe we'll hang it here so someone else can see it. But this is so obviously moose antler velvet though. Like, look at the shape of it, you know?
Crazy.
That's that moose that we spooked. It's got to be the same one that just hangs out on the trail.
Yeah, so there's obviously that moose. Like, it's just crazy how much moose sign we've seen this whole trail. Like right at the beginning, remember the tree?
Yeah.
That you, the bark?
Yeah.
And then, you know, we saw some moose prints into the water.
Yeah, where it's drinking.
And then moose prints where it was clearly very close to us.
Where we spooked it, and then I heard the moose.
Velvet from the
and then velvet, yeah. Yeah, we're just right. A lot of sign of the moose here, and then I heard it. I heard it go,
yeah,
make a noise, and then two like steps like that. Just right after its tracks veered off in that exact direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we saw other tracks after that, probably of the same moose, but they're older. They weren't those ripping fresh ones.
Yeah. Yeah, those ones were very fresh.
Yeah. So it probably just, when it heard us from far, it got spooked, ran a bit, veered off to hide, waited, and then when it saw them we were being quiet, and then when it kind of heard us or caught wind and realized we were coming that direction, it kind of bustled off again, deeper into the woods. So almost saw a moose, almost saw one.
Almost.
But we got a cool experience with a moose that honestly a lot of people might not even have seen, you know?
Yeah.
But because I know what moose sign looks like, their tracks look like, when they're running, when they're fresh, when they're not fresh. We know what the sign looks like when they've been eating bark. We know what their velvet looks like. It really kind of puts you more in the moose's realm and just gives you this cool primal feeling of being like connected to the animals when you're in nature. So just for that reason alone, it's interesting to learn more about the animals and about tracks and about their habits and their habitat too. The old bridge, maybe that's where that other trail went. Got a little bit dilapidated.
Just a little. I'm sure we can still walk.
I don't know why I like filming bridge walking across scenes. Ruined it, eh?
Nope.
I broke out the camera to try to film a grouse, but it was a stick.
Not a grouse.
Anyways, what are we doing right now, Tori?
We're hiking. We just passed a sign that said 37 kilometers. We're going to...
That's to the end of this trail?
Yeah, so where we started is technically the end, because it starts at 0 from Cap Gaspé. So we started at kilometer 45 and we're counting down. We're camping at kilometer 33, and we just passed a sign that says 37. So we have about 4 kilometers to go.
For today?
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh, there's a sign up here.
Oh, there's a sign up here. So we're just coming up to this sign here.
You're bang on, honey. You said
3.8.
3.8.
Yeah, well, we just passed a 37 kilometer sign, and I know we're camping at 33, so perfect.
Here, seaplane.
Cool. Not much further.
Otter sign. We saw otters and we saw like footprints and otter slides and all that. Right?
My legs aren't as long as yours. Oh no!
Here, you can film me.
That was a little muddy.
This is a guaranteed soaker. Should I fall off this log? Oh, the log's sinking. Where's the log? That's all the log there is?
That's all the log there is.
Oh. No big deal.
No more log.
Look. Here's some prints here. What's that?
Qu'est-ce que c'est? A dog.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's a
Small
dog.
Yeah.
The average household pet.
I think that's like.
Yeah, hey? Nice.
One kilometer still.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's far. I know. I'm actually not even tired at all. How bad is it? You don't sound like it's okay. Sure, you'll be able to just work through it. together for like.
We are nearing our campsite, and it looks like there's a lawn there, like we're walking into like a park. It's all manicured. This is the I guess more used section of the trail, and they do a lot to spruce up the campsites. This is a national park actually for Parks Canada. Here we go. Equestrians always have the priority. Hikers yield to equestrians. Bicyclists yield to hikers and equestrians. Jim Baird Adventure yields to nobody. Except Tori, that's for sure. Okay, so here me and Tori are at our campsite on the International Appalachian Trail. What we were expecting. It's quite manicured. There's a lawn here.
There's a porch.
There's a porch.
Or deck, I guess.
It's probably 2 picnic tables. It's the most manicured backcountry campsite I've ever been to. But there is a nice little stream down there and a kind of more wild area, but I don't know. Walking 11K, we thought we were going to get to this like epic lake site on like an outcrop or something, and it's just like a lawn hacked into the middle of the bush. But you know, for most there is an outhouse, so for maybe a lot of campers might like something a little bit like this. It's not too on brand for Jim Baird Adventure though. So, but you know what? We brought a 6-pack and a Mickey, so we're gonna make 2 Mickeys, but one's for tomorrow. So we're gonna just get drunk and have a fire and eat and just make the best of it. So who gives a Tori's knees acting up a little bit too.
Well, now that I've taken Advil, it feels fine. So
what's going on with it? What was hurting?
It's like under the kneecap, and it's just like a really deep, throbbing pain that kind of comes and goes. Right now, it feels fine, but it's something that I have off and on here and there. It's just because I think I had surgery on this knee, so I think overcompensating with this leg. I don't know. It's just something I've had for, and it's just off and on. So it'll be fine. She's taking some vitamin I. She'll be back into it. Anyways, yeah. So not an ideal campsite, but that's okay because I know for a fact this trail is going to get absolutely spectacular closer to the end. So yeah, it might be a couple nights of, we don't know what tomorrow's going to be like, but it might not be the most spectacular portion of the trail here. But you know what? We decided that we wanted to do this entire last section of Appalachian Trail. We wanted to cross Forillion National Park. And you know what? That's what we're going to do. So we're going to take a little bit of the good and a little bit of the bad, and all of it turns out to be an awesome adventure in the end. And you know, this campsite specifically might be perfect for a lot of people. What do you have? Show me the InReach. So
there's obviously no cell service here.
There's no cell service here. So we have the InReach. But the cool thing is, so the InReach is great, obviously, because it's a satellite texting device. You can send text messages. Usually we just use it for, you know, it's got your SOS button on there. Obviously we don't want to hit that, but anyways, you can send text messages. We like to use it to let people know we're okay. When Jim's out on his trips, he'll text me and let me know he's doing great. And you can also see the location. You can Bluetooth to your phone and almost use it as a regular cell phone. So I'm just going to send a message to my dad, who is currently babysitting Wesley. And send. You obviously want to use it for emergency purposes. You want to save the battery. The battery lasts a very long time, though. It's great.
Okay, so we are drinking a East Coast Canadian beer that I've never had before. It's called Laurentide. I believe it is brewed in Moncton, New Brunswick. Sorry, St. John's.
St. John's, yeah, you're right.
Canada, Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, Moncton, St. John. It's by Molson. Molson makes it. So we don't have this in Ontario. Laurentide basically tastes like Molson Canadian, but a little bit better. Cheers, honey. Love you.
Love you.
We have an MSR gravity filter here.
Which is actually very convenient because since the water is so far away, and this is a big one too. I think it's like for a group people. Yeah, like that's a lot of water. So since the water is so far away, we can just fill it and have like 10 liters. What is this?
Yeah, you fill it and you hang
10
it.
liters of water.
And it uses gravity to run your water through a filter, purifies it, gets all the giardia and the germs and yucky stuff out of there that could get you sick.
It's into here. And then I'm assuming this is the actual filter. Well, I guess it stops there. Fill it up. Take this off so it doesn't get totally soaked.
Alright, I'm just going to fill up this bag.
Is there something in there blocking the water from coming out?
And where?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Anyways.
Inside it?
Yeah, I just don't know how to make the water come out. I guess we'll figure that out.
Plug that in and it automatically starts coming.
Great. Sweet.
I fell and hurt my leg.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Amazingly.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just was like a Charlie horse, you know?
This is convenient. There's a flat spot. So, and then this goes to a tree, I guess.
Me too.
Holding this. Okay.
Yep, nailed it.
Oh boy.
You want to wear a glove in the other hand too? What is this called, Tori?
Chicken orzo soup.
Chicken orzo soup tonight. Woo! Happy Yak soup poulet at orzo. Chicken orzo soup. It's good. That's a hearty soup right there. Look at that.
Yeah, that looks great.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's looking good. Can you smell it? Coconut curry.
Are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm pretty hungry. If anyone wants a recipe, I'll tell you.
What is it?
Well, usually I make it with shrimp, but I didn't want to dehydrate shrimp. So I just saute some onions and peppers. Pour in some, like a can of coconut milk. And then add usually the shrimp. And then I cook rice separately in coconut milk. But I usually add like a little bit of salt and pepper, and then a ton of curry powder. But I add it, mix it, taste it. I keep tasting it to see. It depends how much curry you like. And then I, cooked it, and then, spread it out on parchment paper and dehydrated it. But this time I didn't add shrimp. I just did it without any meat, but then I dehydrated canned chicken separately. So good. You want some?
Yeah. Well, you eat what you want.
Well, I want it all, but I'm willing to share.
Aw.